Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your full moon reading for March. We have It's Time to Take Action for the Past. And with that energy, we get the Prince of Swords, Knight of Wands, and Princess of Wands. So somebody was heading towards somebody with the Knight of Wands energy, maybe going on some sort of adventure. So Princess of Wands and Prince of Swords. Okay, Princess of Wands. Haven't seen that card in a while. It says deliberately play with the fire. That is, try out your strengths, discover the possibilities, and bring your enthusiasm and your joy of life, and your driving force into play with wit and dignity. So there could have been somebody you were playing with in the past. You were getting to know this person. You had a lot of visions and passions concerning this person, okay? So you were interested in somebody. You took action towards heading towards somebody, and you were interested in this person, interested in getting to know them. It's just very interesting energy, okay? Now, in the present with this full moon, you're balancing spirituality with practicality. And we get the worry card, the completion card, and the Queen of Wands. So you could have been dealing with a Leo at some point, a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. And with the Five of Pentacles card, it basically talks about being unequally yoked. But with the Four of Wands, it talks about not accepting any compromises for yourself when it comes to core beliefs and personal truth. And it also talks about embracing your contradictions. So you could be unequally yoked spiritually with somebody, okay? In the present, you may be unequally yoked spiritually with somebody during this full moon. Maybe they have different spiritual beliefs than you do. Now, in the future, you and your loved ones are safe. You and your loved ones are safe. It looks like you're heading back to your original family after the full moon. We get devil energy, which is codependency, chariot, movement, okay? And we also get this defeat card, which is criticism. So it could be you could end up in a situation where in the future, somebody criticizes your family or doesn't like your family, and you go rushing to be with your family, but you and your loved ones are safe, or maybe it could be that somebody texts you or calls you with a criticism and you go to check on them and they're okay. Your family is safe because you're taking care of your family. Let's get an oracle card from the Mists of Avalon. I'm about to drop the deck. I'm getting kind of emotional, not because of your reading, but just stuff I've been learning lately. There's so many different tarot decks out there and card readers out there, but I'm really feeling these Thoth tarot cards because, they're really old school and I really like the traditional meanings. It's kind of like Bibles. There's all sorts of different Bibles out there, but some people like the 1611 KJV or just the KJV. Some people like getting back to the old language. But for your oracle card, you get the Chalice Well, Mother Earth, Chalice Well. Okay, sanctuary, flow, creative force. This is card 4. Sanctuary, the chalice well, sanctuary, creative force, Mother Earth flow. Drink from the magical water of divination and be restored. So you're ready to stand in your feminine creative power. Use your inner well of wisdom to reflect and listen to your intuition. Learn from your emotions and move forward to greater self-awareness. Allow the goddess to nurture you and heal past wounds that have prevented you from moving forward. Now is the time to practice self-care and be nurtured. So it's talking about, instead of going from relationship to relationship to relationship, you need to slow down and connect to your spirituality so you can heal some past wounds that have prevented you from moving forward. Your reading kind of reminds me of somebody who could have been looking for somebody their whole life, and never really found them. It's kind of like, say if I grew up with somebody that I really didn't get along with, and then I was always trying to get away from them and always trying to replace them. And I never could replace them because I could never really place that hole in my heart that they created. And eventually I had to stop going from relationship to relationship and examine that past wound, and fill it myself with love and abundance and joy, so that I don't go looking for another relationship to fill that hole. So the affirmation with this is, I am replenished. So I don't know what you guys are going to be doing. I don't know if you're going to get a pedicure or a manicure, or if you're going to take an Epsom salt bath, but you're going to be doing things, hopefully, that replenish your spirit and your soul. Listen to positive music, listen to positive affirmations, think about good things, the problem with getting into relationships is the only people we can control are ourselves. So I mean, I can control myself, right? I can try to get myself to stop saying negative things to myself, but I can't control another person. I could tell another person, don't talk about my family that way, or don't do this, don't do that, but that at the end of the day, what are they going to do? They're going to do what they want to do. That's how human beings are. So the only thing that's going to replenish whatever hole this is you have inside yourself is, to love yourself and give yourself the constant love and attention that you need, because nobody else is going to do it for you. You're going to meet a lot of people in this world who, what they'll do is, like using my cup as an example, say if their cup is filled halfway, right? And they're not really whole themselves, and y'all get together and they give a little bit to you, and then drink the rest for themselves. And they gave you a little bit of kindness, but then went back to being however they are. That's not going to fill that hole in you. That's just going to further, I don't want to say make the hole bigger, but it's going to further reinforce the hole, to where you keep looking for another relationship to fill it time and time and time again. And it never works, because we have to fill our own holes. We have to recognize the source of our own holes to be able to fill our own holes. It's kind of like, if I had a cavity in my tooth, and I went to the dentist, and the dentist told me where the cavity was at, where it was located, exactly what he was going to do to fill it, and he filled it. That cavity is unique to my tooth and unique to my situation. So, he's not gonna, be like, well, sorry, I can't fill your cavity. Let me get another person who has a cavity to come in here, and maybe, they can help you a little bit, because it doesn't work that way, right? Everyone has their own holes that they need to fill out. I could have gotten a cavity by eating a lot of bread, bread and pasta, and someone else could have gotten a cavity from eating a lot of chocolate, and their cavity might look different from mine. So we all have different holes that we need to focus on filling. And some people barely have any holes. Some people grew up in a nice family, where there was some dysfunction, but it was a mild dysfunction. It wasn't that bad. And but we have to figure out our unique problems to solve them. I mean, nobody's going to fill that hole but you. Um You can't just go to somebody and be like, well, this is how I was treated in my childhood, and this is how I want to be treated now, because that person, they may not be able to do all that. They may not be able to be consistent, but you can be consistent with yourself. So, thank you for coming to this reading. I would just focus on what I'm thankful for, really. I mean, sometimes I felt lonely myself. And what I do when I feel lonely is I say, I am thankful for my space, because I think about all the things that could happen if I did not have my space. I'm like, if I did not have my space and I lived with, somebody I didn't like, they could be poking my arm and getting on my nerves. And when you're laying there by yourself or sitting there, whatever it is you're doing, you could be thinking about, I'm at peace because nobody's bothering me. And so, I mean, it kind of reminds me of that phrase, the lesser of two evils. I mean, do you want to be with somebody who's hurting you? Or do you want to be alone for a while so you can fill your own well and get better? And once you get better, you can attract better people for you. And, maybe even a whole new circle of friends if you feel like you don't have that many real friends. So, that's all I have. Um, I keep getting this message in Capricorn readings over and over and over again. And I'm so glad I got that Oracle deck, because the Chalice card explained better what I could not, and so that's all I have. Good luck, and take care. And thank you for supporting this channel, Capricorn.